Hey guys, Long Haul Larry and Elvis. We got Elvis with us today. Elvis is a 16-year-old male cat. This was Tracy's, one of Tracy's cats. And he's a super nice cat. I've been gone for a couple days. He's shedding like crazy right now. But I've been gone for a couple days. I was down at the farm for a couple days, and then I went up to the UP, and then I took a day to recover up there from the drive. That hurt a lot. And then I came on back down here, and we got Tracy's daughter's wedding coming up this weekend, so I came down here, and we have this airplane. And ever since I've been down here, Elvis has been just nonstop all over me. Tracy's like, boy, he really missed you, because every time he meows at me and comes up by me, I always pet him. And I've always liked cats. I just always have. But what this video is about is the Tundra. No Limits from DuraFly. And I'm going to tell you that this is from Hobby King. Hobby King is basically a Chinese hobby company. They have kind of come out with a lot of things that are very cheap and stuff. And they've gotten better over the years. It's actually been very profitable. You want to go check this room out, don't you? I thought I'll bring him out in the shop because he's just been sitting out on the deck. There he goes. Yep, he's out. He's going to go around and check the whole room out. But Hobby King has been always a cheaper company that you can get stuff from. And especially when radios came out with 2.4 gigahertz, instead of having a channel, a little crystal that you put in for a channel. When they kind of switched over that, Hobby King had some radios that were pretty cheap that you could get. The only thing that you got to worry about is that you got to get it from the U.S. Warehouse. If you don't, you get it from the Hong Kong warehouse or the UK or something like that. It takes forever, and they could throw some hidden shipping charges in there that would really get you. So you got to make sure it's in there. And I had a trainer plane. I haven't flown in quite a few years. And I had a trainer plane, and I got the aerobatic, the little extra 330 I'm going to build. I got to finish, and I thought, before I go throwing up a real nice aerobatic plane that I'm building and taking all this time, I should throw my trainer plane up. Well, the motor was completely rusted tight. It wouldn't even turn, or I couldn't even get it to budge. So, it would have cost me $100 to $150 to get a new nitro motor. Then you're burning nitro fuel and everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the RC airplane world, electric is the king. A lot of people have done just electric. A couple different reasons. One is for the noise. Some flying fields have had troubles with neighbors and stuff like that, with noise levels and everything else. The flying field down in Fond du Lac, they have a very nice flying field. They don't have any trouble with it. They fly jets, all kinds of different stuff out there. They don't have any problem with it. But a lot of flying fields, they've had a little bit of trouble with the noise and stuff. So they've kind of went more electric. It seems to be more friendly with people. I've had this one on order for a while. It has been on back order. They've had it in a Hong Kong warehouse, but it was like $100 and some to ship it. And I've just had it on back order for whenever it arrived. And I got an email and it arrived, and I said, go ahead and ship it. And I put this address down for Tracy so I have it because I knew it was going to be here. And they shipped it here. I had a couple different. You can get this thing in, let's see, blue, kind of a blackish gray, a purple color, or this greenish color. Wasn't my first choice for the green, but it is what it is. And I decided for the price that I could pay for these things, there's $150. Comes everything in it. The only thing you need is a radio, and I have the radio already. And I figured for that price, that would cost me what the motor would cost for the trainer I had. That thing's been sitting around for how long? The glue and some of the fittings might be messed up, So I just decided to buy this. And I'm going to tell you that I've already opened this box. I can't figure out how to get it back in there. But I'll show you guys what it is inside. I will tell you that I was a little bit disappointed. I just kind of opened this up just to kind of peek in it. I cannot figure out how to get it back in here in all the pieces. But I thought through the reviews that it was a plastic fuselage. It's not. This thing is entirely foam. This whole airplane is just made out of foam. And it's fine. I've actually seen it fly. I was down in Fond du Lac this last weekend, and I stopped at the Fond du Lac flying field. I took Tracy out there, and I'm going to tell you that we went there, and we just stopped out at the flying field, and the one guy had this exact same plane, exact same color, everything, and it was a little bit breezy, and it flew just fine. And I talked to the guy afterwards, and he kind of gave me some tips on it, and he said it's a real good flying airplane. The funny thing is he reversed it. You don't see reverse on airplanes too much. But everybody came in and they landed. They all kind of had planes just like this one, and they were all kind of flying together. And they came in and they landed, and everybody else was grabbing airplanes and pulling them. He pulled his right up by the fence, did a sharp turn, and then he put it in reverse and backed it up to the fence. I was like, okay, you don't see that very much. But it comes pretty much assembled. Everything is foam. There is some plastic parts on it, I guess for strength. You got your elevators here. Right here's your wings. There's each wing half. And this thing has full flaps on it. And see, all the servos are mounted in it and everything else already. And so, it's ready to go pretty much. This is the main fuselage, as I showed before. Has a little door right here. It's supposed to have a clear canopy. It said that it did. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted it. Because I wanted a clear canopy so I could put a camera inside of it. But I'm going to have to figure that out. I didn't see one yet. It comes with these, and these are floats that you can attach onto the landing gear, and you can put floats on it, and you can take off of water. So there is those, and then it says it has instructions, and this is what it came with. It just basically says control throws, how much throw it should have. And then the CG battery recommendations and the flaps, how much throw for the flaps at 9 degrees. Yeah, that's it. And it says it has instructions, but I've actually gone on the website for it, and there is instructions on there. Right here is the whole parts bag that it comes with. It's all landing gear. I'm guessing this stuff here is for mounting radio and stuff. I don't know. Looks like there's some struts in there and stuff. These here are pretty hokey. These are the wheels. And by the picture online and stuff, it showed it. It looked like there was these big rubber balloon tires. Because the Tundra airplane is made for like taking off the Tundra. And it's supposed to be able to take off of very rough conditions and everything else. And then they always have the real airplanes. And they have these big balloon tires that absorb all the shock of landing and stuff in really rough terrain. And they can bounce over stuff. These are just foam. That's all they are. They're pretty chimsy. Will they work? Yes, I think they will. And they're super lightweight. So, here's the tail wheel. And then here's these things. And the guy down in Fond du Lac that was flying one told me not to put these on. Comes with a really fancy screwdriver. He told me not to put these on. And what these do is they go into these little tiny holes in the top of the wing, and they snap into them, and what it's supposed to do is, I guess, to give it more lift. But he told me if I want to ever do aerobatics or something, or fly upside down, these things, you can't do it with these on there. He said, so don't even put them on. So, I don't know, I think I'll fly it without them, and then maybe just pop them on and I glue them in, and see what the difference is, but, so that was his recommendation. And then this, and there's a carbon fiber prop that comes with it too. Here's the radio that I will be installing in it. I got this radio from the same company. I've had a radio, a really nice Futaba radio. I've always had this radio. I've had it probably for 20 some years. And it's a very nice Futaba radio, and it comes with little crystals in the receivers, and you could change the channel by changing the crystals. Nobody does those anymore. You go into flying fields, because it used to be, when you went to the flying field, there was a board, and it had all the different channel numbers on it with little clothesline pins. And what you do, the first thing we do is walk up to that board, look up there and make sure your channel was there, grab your channel, and then you'd put it on the antenna of the radio. And then that meant you had that channel. And if somebody else turned their radio on and didn't have that clip and you crashed or something, they were kind of liable for your airplane. That was kind of the rule. So it used to be all that way, but now they went to this 2.4 gigahertz system. And I want to get back into flying. And so I decided to buy a nicer radio. And this radio, I've had this one for a while. I ordered this a while ago. This is a receiver, an extra receiver. I've ordered a couple extra receivers because I have 3 different planes. But this thing was like super cheap. I mean, it was like I want to say like 125 bucks. I think my Futaba, I think I paid like $700 or $800 for it years ago. It was pretty expensive. But just making sure it's the right setup, because you can buy different setups where the throttle's over here, because in different countries they have the throttle on the other side. But this is it's a 9 channel, so this can handle up to 9 different channels. What that means is your ailerons, you can have separate servos in, one in each wing. Plug them into the receiver, and then you can mix them inside of here through the computer. You can mix them, or you can have a Y adapter and have them plugged in there, and have it one channel. Then you got your rudder, that's your number 2. Then you got your elevator, we'll say it's number 3. You got your throttle, it's number 4. And on this plane, it has flaps, and so that would be number 5. So you're going to use 5 channels for this. Some of the bigger planes, you have more channels, and like I said, you could have different servos, and then you could put them in different channels and then mix them inside the radio. What that is it's a foolproof thing, because like when you get real big planes, there are a lot more force to them, and if one servo blows, you can still have one servo working on one wing or on an elevator or something like that, so you can kind of keep some of the control of it, maybe get back down on the ground. That's kind of why they do that. But then also you can have different things like smoke. You can turn on a smoker so that it pumps out smoke, so you can do skywriting. Another thing that you can do is like this one here has a little thing up here so that you can hook up a glider hook. And you put it up in there, and then you put a string back, and you can pull up another person with a glider. There's a mosquito in here. And when you get them way up there and stuff, you flip a button, you program whatever button you want to on here. You flip that button, it releases the glider, so he can go and glide and stuff, and then you come back down and land. You can also, on the bottom of here, you can hook in a thing where you drop. You can buy it separate. It hooks onto the bottom here. You can put candy or whatever, and you fly over the top of a crowd of kids or something. You kind of fly over near them, and then you open it, and you drop a bunch of candy on. Guys do that at air shows all the time and stuff. So there's things like that. You can have different channels for all different kinds of things. So we're going to get working on this. There is no instructions whatsoever. So I actually went onto the website that I bought it from, and you can download the instructions. Stupid mosquito just will not let me go. And I downloaded them, and they were actually downloading when I came out here and stuff. So I'm going to go grab my phone. I'm going to actually use my iPad so it's bigger so I can read it because I'm kind of old. And start going through these instructions and putting this airplane together. It shouldn't be too difficult. Should be no problem. Alright guys, we got a drink. We're stealing this from Tracy. It's a Jamaica Me Happy from Seagram's. Yeah, she didn't have no beer. What's up?
What are you doing drinking my Jamaica Me Happy?
I'm making me happy right now. I feel fruity. So now I'm building an airplane.
You're gonna lose your screws.
Zoom, zoom. Hey, hey.
Hey. Use like 50 of these.
Tracy just got back from shopping.
Who do I know?
I'm talking to the camera. Who do you think I'm talking to? Do you want to say anything about your boyfriend behind me?
Hi, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Oh, what am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
Why is that stuff in front of his face?
I didn't put it there. I guess we're supposed to put this wing spar in here. That. And then it has these little plug-ins, which are pretty cool. Instead of having several lead wire that you got to feed through and everything, they actually have little plug-ins that go in there. And then, slide one wing half at a time into the spar, pushing the penetrator into place in the fuselage. Well, guys, I got the plane built, and I got the radio all installed, everything, and I needed some glue to mount a piece of plywood up here to attach a camera to. And so I decided to run to a little hardware store, and I had the plane all ready to go, and I had the CG and everything all set. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take it and just go fly quick. And didn't take you guys along for the first flight. Well, kind of missing half propeller. And we're missing this here door. It's got a ding right here. I crashed it. I just was out on a little country road out here. I decided I'd just fly it out on this little gravel road, and there was a big farmer's field out there, and you know, so I could have plenty of room to fly it. And I took off, and everything was fine. I just had to trim everything out, got everything trimmed, and I came in and I landed it. And it was an alright landing. I did end up nosing it because I just went on the edge of the road and into the grass and just nosed it down, no big deal. And I thought, well, that wasn't too bad. Let's try it again. And so I took it up, flew it around, came in, landed it. Perfect. Greased it right in. Did it 3 more times. Came in, would fly around a little bit. I was doing a couple loops and stuff, playing around. And it was an alright plane. It's a high wing plane, you know, it's not very crazy flyer. And I came down and landed. I thought, you know, I even did a touch and go once and stuff, and I'm like, this thing flies all right. Be good to get my feet wet again. And I decided to do one more. And I figured the battery would be getting a little bit low, and I'd do one more and grease one more landing in, and then I'll go get stuff, glue it on, and I'll take you guys out for a flight. And I took off and I flew around, did a couple loops and did a couple rolls and stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bring it down. And there was these 2 pine trees, huge pine trees. And out in the middle of this field kind of thing, kind of down on the edge. And I kept flying down past the trees and then coming back and then coming down the road and then landing it. And I thought I was on the other side of the tree, but it always happens. Just misjudge that distance. And I started to turn to go around the tree. Stuck it right in the top of a pine tree. I mean, this thing is probably 70, 80 feet tall. It's huge. Stuck it right in the top. I went down there, walked down there, and I looked at it. And it was way up there. All the way up the top. And I'm like, there's no way I'm getting this down. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to leave it. And hopefully some wind comes along and knocks it loose and it falls out of the tree. And I went back to the truck and I got the radio. And I sat there and I thought, I wonder if I could just knock it loose. And I sat there wiggling controls and it wasn't falling. And then I gave her some throttle. And I heard the prop go, honk. And I let it turn it off and I hit it again, honk. And I did it about 3 or 4 times. All of a sudden I heard the thing go, and I think what was happening was the one propeller was hitting. And it snapped the propeller off. And then this came all the way around and hit the tree branch. And it knocked it off the top of those branches up there. And it was just falling down from the tree, the top of the tree, and it was just like dunk, 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 dunk. It was going all the way down, and as it was coming down, it got stuck on started getting stuck on one branch. I gave her a little bit of throttle, and it was wiggling controls. It kept falling, came all the way down, and it got caught in some branches down right by the ground, maybe 3 feet off the ground. And I walked over there and grabbed it. No major wear. I could not find the canopy. I have no idea. It's probably still up in the top of that tree. But this company, they actually sell parts and pieces for them. You can buy different parts and pieces. Pretty durable though. It took a good whack. Took a little whack here in the foam. And there's a little dent over here in the wing. And down here in the bottom of the fuselage, there's a couple of whacks. But otherwise than that, it held up fine. And everything's working and stuff. It's just that I only got half a propeller. So a lot of vibration going on. So I guess I'm going to have to order a canopy and get a new propeller. Take you guys up for a flight. Oh well. Got impatient. Didn't take you guys. That would have been a good video flying into that tree. But yeah, I got impatient. Didn't do it. So I got to get on there and order only a few bucks. Propeller and a thing. That's nothing major. So I'll order those up. I'll probably have them sent up to the UP. And that's probably where I'll be next time I get it and take it up for a flight for you guys. Maybe I'll put the floats on it and fly on the pond right down by the house. So there you go. Not a bad little plane, but sorry I cheated you guys out of the first flight and crashed. We'll do it again, trust me. We'll do it again. I'm actually going to teach Tracy how to fly this. After I get a little air time and get a little time under my wings for the better planes. I was fine. I flew it. It was just fine. I'll probably get a couple more flights and then I'm going to start teaching Tracy how to fly. And let's see if I can teach her how to do it. And then we go up there and I can chase her around. So there you go. So I hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day, great night to watch this here video. And if you're not, well, go crash an airplane into a tree. I can't believe I did that. Oh, one tree in the whole field and I got it. At my old flying field, there was a tree down there, way out in this field. You don't know how many airplanes got stuck in that. The whole field's wide open, just one tree. And that tree claimed so many airplanes. It seems like they're just magnets or something. But I didn't think I was going to get back down. I thought, that was a waste of money, and I actually got it to come down, so that's not bad. Couple of things, I'll have her back up, and we'll take you guys out. So we'll catch you guys later. See ya. Bye.